Another important aspect of structural changes is the transfer of population from the primary and industrial sector to the tertiary sector. And if we're talking about the tertiary sector, it is that particular sector that provides us not with goods commodities but with services. Okay. So yes, what we expect is that yes, through the steps undertaken by the government, be it if we talk about different, if we talk about in the industrial sector, the government has been undertaken so many reforms, be it that relates to the agricultural sector, the the provision of credit facilities, different land reform measures are being introduced, provision of new technologies, so on and so forth. What happened was agricultural output increases. Okay, not only in the agricultural sector, this also happened in the industrial sector. Okay, output coming from the industrial sector did keep on increases through the measures that are being undertaken by the government. But what actually happened was after this output is being produced, what we actually learn is that it needed to be transported, it need to be marketed. Okay, so who perform, who carry on all those services? It is the service sector. That means the private, the tertiary sector provide the various services, be it in terms of transport and communication. That means that relates to how the different goods and commodities are being transported, uh, be it when we talk about how the different goods and commodities are being distributed, so on and so forth. So in this way, through the changes that did take place in the agricultural as well as industrial sector, it did also bring about an improvement or a changes in the tertiary sector, which means the tertiary sector also started to grow due to the growth of these two important sectors. And slowly and steadily, okay, what happened was the economy, the country will move on the path of growth and progress. But one drawback, if we talk about the tertiary occupations, okay, the tertiary occupations, they are most often capital intensive, which means most often in the tertiary occupations, capital are being substituted to labor or worker. Okay, therefore, in the initial stages of growth, it seems as if this sector do really it did fail to absorb, okay, to absorb or to provide employment opportunities um, to the so many unemployed workers. Because why in this particular sector, ordinary workers are not actually needed. Okay, because why most oftenly they are being engaged with different types of machines. Okay, and in this way it did give birth or it did results to underemployment or disguised unemployment in the rural sector. So this is the problems that most oftenly different economies do face in the initial stages of growth. Furthermore, whenever we talk about structural changes, we're talking about how a particular economy is being opening up to the world economy. Okay, that means they are no longer isolated, they are no longer living alone, but instead they are open to the whole wide world. Okay, so through this particular steps, if different countries of the world are open to the different countries of the world, that means new ideas, new technology, new opinions will enter into that particular country. Okay, and this is possible only if those isolated countries are given a chance for foreign goods, for foreign ideas, for foreign technology to set in. And if this happens, yes, so many changes will take place in a particular country or in a particular economy. Furthermore, if we talk about these less developed countries, they do face another major problem, that means shortages of skilled manpower. Okay, that means there is a shortage when we talk about the number of scientists, when we talk about those entrepreneurs, when we talk about engineers, so on and so forth. And the shortages of these, it act some sort of a problem on their path of growth or on their path of development. But even then, if they do face a problem, if the numbers of all these skilled personnel is too less, but their numbers can definitely be increased if the government do set up different scientific or technological and managerial research and training institutions, so that in order to provide those unskilled workers with some proper trainings, okay, ideas, okay, and as such helping the economy in the end to take off. And yes, if really the government can do that, can set up all these important research centers, training institutes, where can impart proper training to the so many unskilled manpower, what happened was there will definitely be a mobility of labor force among, um, from the, like what it's written there in the note, from the blue to the white collar jobs. That means from a temporary job to a permanent job, from from a job which is something that is uncertain to a job that is something that provide a good income, okay, from a less to a more skilled occupations, so on and so forth. And so these changes, these structural changes, can really help in taking the economy, even though it might be very very slowly, but it did really help in taking the economy on the path to growth and prosperity. So we'll stop here for today.